Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, make sure to stick around because today's topic might save you from a lot of wasted time, energy, and heartbreak. Let me tell you something. Women don't always say what they mean, but they always mean what they say. And if you're not paying attention, you could be walking straight into a trap. There are certain things a woman can say that should send alarm bells ringing in your head. And I'm not talking about minor disagreements, I'm talking about red flags so big they could block out the sun. Signs that scream, "Get out now," before it's too late. Too many men ignore these warnings thinking, maybe she didn't mean it that way, or I can change her mind. If she says these things, it's not by accident. It's a window into how she thinks, how she views relationships, and most importantly, how she sees you. Modern dating is a minefield, and the biggest mistake you can make is investing your time, energy, and emotions into someone who doesn't respect you. You don't want to wake up one day realizing you wasted months or even years on someone who was never good for you in the first place. That's why this video is so important. I'm going to break down 5 phrases that, if you ever hear them from a woman, should make you seriously reconsider your involvement. Because here's the truth. A woman's words reveal her mindset, and her mindset determines how she'll treat you. So let's dive right in. Number 1. We don't need to define this. Fellas, if a woman tells you this, she's sending you a loud and clear message. You're an option, not a priority. And if you stick around, you're setting yourself up for confusion, frustration, and wasted time. When a woman is truly interested in you, she wants clarity. She wants to know where things are going. If she avoids labels, it's because she wants the benefits of a relationship without the responsibility of one. She can do whatever she wants, see whoever she wants, and still have you as a backup plan. Now, some guys hear this and think, maybe she's just taking things slow. Nope. There's a difference between pacing a relationship and keeping it undefined forever. If months have gone by and she's still dodging the "what are we?" conversation, she's not confused. She's keeping her options open. And here's where it gets dangerous. The longer you stay, the more emotionally invested you become. While she remains stress-free, knowing she can leave whenever she wants, no strings attached. Think about it this way. Would you apply for a job where the boss says, "Let's not define your role, just show up and work"? Of course not. You'd want to know your position, your benefits, and your future. Relationships work the same way. So if she tells you she doesn't want to define things, walk away, or at least take a big step back. Let her know you're looking for something real. If she values you, she'll make it official. If not, she was never serious about you in the first place. Number 2, take me as I am. When a woman says, "Take me as I am," it might sound like confidence, but in reality, it's often an excuse to avoid accountability. What she's really saying is, "I don't need to improve and you just have to deal with it." This phrase is a huge red flag because it shows she's not interested in growth, compromise, or making the relationship better. It's all about her. Every healthy relationship requires both people to evolve. No one is perfect, and that's okay. But refusing to acknowledge flaws and work on them, that's a major problem. Imagine this. You're always on time for dates, but she's constantly late. Sometimes 30 minutes, sometimes an hour. You finally bring it up, explaining how it makes you feel disrespected. Instead of understanding, she responds, "That's just how I am. You should just accept it." Right there, she's telling you that your feelings don't matter. She's expecting you to accept behavior that bothers you. And when this mindset applies to bigger issues, like a bad temper or refusing to communicate, it's even worse. A strong partner doesn't say, "Take me as I am." A strong partner says, "I'm not perfect, but I'll work on myself just like you will." That's the kind of partner you want. Someone who understands that love is a two-way street. So if you hear her say, "Take me as I am," pay attention. If she's using it to avoid responsibility for bad behavior, that's a problem. No one should have to tolerate disrespect, lack of effort, or unwillingness to grow. If she refuses to meet you halfway, it's time to walk away. There are women who will value you and put in the effort. Have you ever heard the phrase, "You're lucky to have me"? At first, it might sound like confidence, but if you look a little deeper, it's often a sign of entitlement. When a woman says this, what she's really implying is that she's the prize, and you should feel lucky just to be in her presence. But here's the thing. A healthy relationship is built on mutual respect and appreciation, not one person thinking they're superior to the other. Confidence is attractive. You want someone who knows their worth, just like you should know yours. But there's a difference between knowing your value and using it to belittle your partner. If a woman constantly reminds you that you're lucky to have her but never shows gratitude for you, that's a problem. A great relationship isn't about one person feeling like the catch, while the other is constantly trying to prove their worth. That's imbalance, not love. Over time, this dynamic can lead to frustration. What happens when there's an argument or when you have needs and concerns? Chances are she'll dismiss them because she believes she's already doing you a favor by being with you. When one person feels like the lucky one, they may start putting their partner's happiness above their own, doing things just to keep them satisfied. But guess what? It will never be enough. If she sees herself as the prize, she will always expect more while giving less. A great partner doesn't have to remind you you're lucky to have them. They show you through their actions. They value you and appreciate the effort you put in, just as you do for them. That's what builds a strong, lasting connection. So if a woman keeps reminding you that you're lucky to have her, ask yourself, does she make you feel valued or just replaceable? A relationship should be about mutual respect, effort, and appreciation, not one person thinking they're above the other. If that's not what you're getting, don't be afraid to walk away. Now let's talk about another common red flag. All my exes were the problem. At first, this might sound like bad luck in relationships, but take a moment to think about what she's really saying. She's telling you that every guy she's been with was toxic or immature, but somehow she was never the issue. That's not bad luck. That's a pattern. If she refuses to take responsibility for any of her past relationships, that's a huge red flag. It means she's either unable or unwilling to reflect on her own mistakes. And if she doesn't see where she went wrong before, what makes you think she'll handle things any differently with you? Relationships take two people. Yes, some men can be problematic, just like some women can be. But if she refuses to own up to her past mistakes, you're setting yourself up to be blamed when things go wrong. If she has a history of broken relationships, it's not always the men. Sometimes it's about her choices, behavior, or the way she handles conflict. If she can't see that, then she's not learning or growing. And that means if you stay, you'll probably end up being the next problem. What you need is someone who owns their past, someone who can say, I made mistakes too, and I've learned from them. That's a sign of maturity. A woman who never takes responsibility for anything will never take responsibility for hurting you either. So, don't ignore this red flag. If she blames every past relationship on someone else, recognize what that means. You don't want to be another name on her list of problems. Walk away before it's too late. Finally, the phrase, "If you loved me, you would." This is one of the most dangerous things a partner can say. Why? Because it's pure emotional manipulation. She's not asking for love. She's trying to control you. This phrase sets up a situation where if you don't comply, she can make you feel guilty about not proving your love. In a healthy relationship, partners express their needs and feelings without using guilt or manipulation. But when love becomes about constantly proving yourself, that's not love. It's a power play. At first, it might be something small. If you loved me, you'd cancel your plans and stay with me tonight. But over time, it escalates. If you loved me, you'd stop talking to your female friends. Or if you loved me, you'd buy me this. Before you know it, your life revolves around trying to make her happy just to avoid guilt. And the worst part? It's never enough. No matter what you do, there will always be another demand, another test. And if you ever push back, she'll turn it on you. Suddenly, you're the bad guy, the one who doesn't care enough. Real love doesn't require constant proof. A woman who truly loves you will respect your boundaries, choices, and your ability to say no. If you ever hear, "If you loved me, you would." Zrenia, stop and think. Is she expressing a real need, or is she manipulating your emotions? Love isn't a bargaining chip. It's about mutual respect and care. If she can't understand that, it's time to walk away. The biggest mistake many men make is ignoring the signs, thinking they can change someone who doesn't want to change. Too often, men justify bad behavior, make excuses, and hope that with enough love, things will improve. But here's the truth. A woman who doesn't respect you will never truly love you. If you don't respect yourself enough to walk away from this kind of dynamic, you're making it easier for her to continue using you. If you've ever experienced something like this, drop a comment below and share your story. I'm here to listen and to help because, trust me, you're not alone. Take this away. Real love doesn't come with conditions, games, or manipulation. The moment you see these red flags, don't argue, don't negotiate, and don't make excuses. Just walk away, because the sooner you do, the sooner you open the door for a woman who truly deserves you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.